Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Singleton, I'm Michael Kay. We're not going to try to spin this any which way. You lose 3 in a row to the Red Sox, it's not a good thing. Your pitching gets hit the way the Yankees have been hit, it's not a good thing. But while the Yankees have been losing, the Tampa Bay Rays have also been losing, so the Yankees still have a shot at a playoff spot. Now, the one thing they have to do is find a way to get out Mike Napoli.
Mike Napoli and maybe the Red Sox.
The 4-game series between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox set to get underway in just a little bit. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Morakovitz. Derek Jeter was taken out of the game yesterday. Joe Girardi said he just did not. He was running on that ankle. He's also not in the lineup today. So here is Joe Girardi with the latest.
Well, the good thing is the CT scan came back normal. And it's not a quad or a calf. It's just his ankle's a little sore. So, yeah, there's concern. But it's something that he's had to deal with all year, and we'll continue to manage it. It's weird to see his name on the side of the card and not on the left side, on the right side, because you're so used to putting it in there and just letting him go play. And during his career, he's played through so much. He's been nicked up before. you play as long as he has, you've probably been nicked up a lot and played through a lot of stuff. But as I said yesterday, there was some concern over the way he was moving for me, and I just thought that we needed to get it checked out.
Exactly how long Derek Jeter will be out, that remains to be seen. Eduardo Nunez is in there today, playing shortstop and batting seventh. David Cohn, Ken Singleton, and Michael Kay coming back next. Lineups First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
Performance Technology. By New York Yankees premium frozen pizza, available at King Cullen, Western Beef, Gristedes, and your local grocer. And by the Experience Buick lease. It's a new lease on luxury. All right, beautiful Sunday afternoon here in New York City. Yankees will end their 10-game homestand, try to end this 3-game losing streak against the Red Sox. The man on the mound is Hiroki Kuroda. And as we said in the open, they need a good outing from him, and they also need length because their bullpen is still very compromised. Here's the Red Sox starting lineup. Right fielder Daniel Nava leads off. In left field, it's Johnny Gomes. Batting second and playing second, Dustin Pedroia. He'll play in his 1,000th game today. The DH is David Ortiz cleaning up. Batting fifth, playing first base, Mike Carp. Jared Saltalamacchia is back behind the plate. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, Stephen Drew. Will Middlebrooks at third base will hit eighth. And batting ninth and playing center field, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Well, as Daniel Nava gets ready to hit for the Boston Red Sox, Hiroki Kuroda taking his final warm-up tosses. There are his numbers on the season. This will be start number 29 on the season. Has a winning record, very good earned run average. Strikeouts, batting average against, very good. Let's check out our pitcher's scouting report, brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. As David said, the Yankees need to get him back into the previous form that he had displayed just about all summer long. He's only had one win in his last 7 starts. But two numbers that really stand out for Kuroda this year. His earned run average here at Yankee Stadium, 1.89. That is the best home ERA in the league. Also in day games, 2.19. That's the best in day games in the American League. So at home, in a day, this is when he's performed his best.
And they will not have to deal with Mike Napoli, who was given the day off. Obviously, he lurks as a pinch hitter on that Red Sox bench. Red Sox are 87-57. That's the best record in the major leagues. They're the only team in the American League that has not been under 500 all year. It's been good from start to finish after a horrendous last place finish last season. Daniel Nava digs in. He's ready. So's Hiroki Kuroda. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a strike, and we're underway.
Now, with Jacoby Ellsbury being examined for an injured foot, Nava does not bring the speed to the top of the order that Ellsbury does, but he does bring the on-base percentage. This guy does not swing at very many bad pitches. Ooh.
That's behind Nava.
See, he didn't swing.
Wow.
I'll just ask you, David, was that on purpose?
Well, Stewart's setting up in, and there's just only one guy who can answer that question, and that's the guy who threw it.
The way the Red Sox have been hitting all these 3 games, you might want to make some of these hitters feel a little uncomfortable in the box.
And also, Dempster's plunking of A-Rod has never been addressed.
Other than by A-Rod when he hit the home run.
Right.
Which is the best way to do it, if you ask me.
The 2-1. Right to Cano. One away. Let's check out the Yankee defense presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Soriano, Granderson, and Ichiro left to right. Gardner just a day off against the lefty Lester. Infield, it's A-Rod, Nunez, Cano, and Reynolds, third to first. The veteran Chris Stewart behind the plate, and Kuroda's on the mound.
Well, Michael, just to kind of put a bow on that little point there from that Kuroda pitch, I mean, if you're going to pick a spot to send a message, it should not be the first batter of the game. You wouldn't think, you wouldn't want to put the leadoff guy on, especially when these guys have been running around the bases with reckless abandon over the first 3 games.
Well, he didn't hit him.
He did not.
But he did make him feel uncomfortable. That's my point.
Well, no warning issued by Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire. The crew chief is Joe West. He's at second base. Count 1-1.
Like most of the Red Sox hitters, Johnny Gomes has been on a tear. 14 runs batted in his last 15 games. Getting a start against a righty today.
The Red Sox offensively certainly have padded their stats collectively over this series. The last 4 games. There you go. Extra base hits. Jumps out. 28.
Now that includes the game they scored 20 runs against the Tigers on Wednesday.
Yeah, they hit 8 home runs in that game.
2-2.
You know, the Red Sox are on pace to score 848 runs this year, which leads major leagues. They lead the majors now. But the record for runs in a season, you have to go all the way back to 1931.
Swing and a miss. Gomes down on strikes.
It was the 1931 Yankees that scored 1,067 runs. Lou Gehrig drove in 184 runs that year. And they only played 154 games. And Babe Ruth drove in only 163. But, and it's a big but if you're a Yankee fan, they didn't win the pennant that year. They finished second.
The pitch to Pedroia is a strike. This is, as I mentioned, during the lineups, Pedroia's 1,000th game as a Red Sox player, and 29 players now have appeared in 1,000 games for the Red Sox.
How many can we name?
Ted Williams.
Tony Stransky.
One, two. Bobby Doerr. And on and on.
Yeah. Now Kuroda's trying to get out of the first inning here. His last 2 starts, he's thrown 25 pitches in the first.
Tap the other way. Cano right there. He will get Pedroia, and that will do it. As Kuroda works a 1-2-3 first inning against the Red Sox. Boston nothing, and the New York Yankees coming back. been their pitching. So let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup presented by Lexus. Leading off today is the right fielder Ichiro Suzuki. Batting second, the DH Vernon Wells. In left field, it's Alfonso Soriano. Cleaning up, the second baseman Robinson Cano. Alex Rodriguez is the third baseman. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing first base, Mark Reynolds. Curtis Granderson in center field. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Eduardo Nunez. And Chris Stewart will catch and bat ninth.
29-year-old John Lester on the mound, 10-5 in his career against the New York Yankees. He gets the start today, and he's had a pretty good season. 13-8. Opponent's hitting .253 against him. As you look at his numbers, let's check out the pitcher scout report brought to you by your Trot Honda dealers. It's a bounce-back season. Last year was 9-14, the only losing season he's ever had in the big leagues. And those are his strikeout numbers in the number of innings that he's pitched against the Yankees in his career. That's pretty darn good. And it's been a rocky road. He's got 8 losses, 7 of them away from Fenway Park this year.
And there's a strike to Ichiro. Yankees are only the second team in American League history to score 8 or more runs in 3 straight games and lose each game. And the other team, the Red Sox, actually dropped 4 straight games under those same circumstances. You have to go back to 1961 when they did it against the Indians and the Yankees. 2 against the Indians and 2 against the Yankees. Drag bunt, but right at Lester. On the way. Let's check out the Red Sox defense presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Gomes, Bradley, and Nava, left to right. We'll go first to third for the Red Sox. In the infield, Carp, Pedroia, Drew, and Middlebrooks. Saltalamacchia, he's had a sore lower back. He's finally back in the lineup. He'll be behind the plate. Lester's on the mound.
All the reports on John Lester recently have been very good. His velocity's back up again. He was topping out at 97 miles an hour in his last couple of starts, and that last one at 95. So his velocity's back, which helps all of his other pitches as well. That cutter's a little quicker and sharper, and the last 4 starts, dominating. And that's what the Red Sox need. They need him to be the ace and lead this pitching staff.
Wells grounds it to third. Middlebrooks. 2 outs. Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 78 degrees, 44% humidity. The wind is 12 miles per hour. It is a great day for baseball. Popped up, shallow left center. Drew is there. He makes the play to retire Soriano, and that will do it as the Yankees are down in order. So much offense for 3 games, nothing after 1. Well, it's time for today's conversation, brought to you by Toyota. Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Here's how we started the combo today. Of the 5 National League teams likely to make the postseason, which is best equipped for a deep run and why? A.J. Marshall 3 says the Dodgers because of Yasiel Puig and their starting pitching led by Clayton Kershaw and Zach Greinke. I don't know if I agree about the Puig part. He's important, but deep runs in the playoffs because of pitchers like that.
Well, not only shut down pitchers, but they can miss some bats too. So in postseason play, the pitchers that can strike you out when you need big outs, keep the ball out of play, can make a big difference in a short series.
And we're not even mentioning Ryu, who's pretty good as well. Here's David Ortiz. And there's a strike. Hey, follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. One and one. Ortiz 3 for 13 in the first 3 games of the series.
You know, we've seen how hot the Red Sox have been this series. It's the career against Kuroda, not bad at all. 7 for 12 with a home run. Well, the Yankees got to hope that the Red Sox keep this up. I mean, the Yankees are going to catch the Red Sox, and it looks to me like the Red Sox are going to wrap up the division. Their magic number is dropping. So what the Yankees have to hope is that the Red Sox continue to play well. After an off day tomorrow, they play Tampa Bay. They also have 6 games left with the Baltimore Orioles. So that's you're hoping the Red Sox just hammer these teams.
Yankees baseball available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your remote. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. I guess you could say, Kenny, that wild card makes strange bedfellows because Yankee fans are going to have to root for the Red Sox. 3-2. Hammered down the right field line. It is a base hit. It'll go into the corner. Ichiro will play it out there, and Ortiz has a leadoff double.
He hit that one like he called for it himself. Watch him quick stroke this. Supposed to be down and away. It's more down and in. And I think he's lucky that it was just a double. The way that Ortiz could swing the bat, it is ripped into the corner. And he's hit enough doubles here. He knows he's going to have to hustle out of the box on this one to make it a 2-base hit as Ichiro runs it down.
And that's what the Red Sox have done so well this year. Maybe they're not leading the league in home runs, but extra base hits. 8.9% of all their hits end up in an extra base hit this year. That's first in the American League.
Mike Karp fouls it off.
Just another double added on.
Yeah, they do lead in doubles.
Baltimore is second with all those home runs in that category.
Yeah, Baltimore leads in homers.
There's a lot of numbers to look at. You know, we sometimes get wrapped up in numbers, but there's one that I look at, Michael. It's called total average, and it's on baseballreference.com, and it was developed by Thomas Boswell, who wrote for the Washington Post, and it's a formula that combines total bases, hit by pitches, base on balls, stolen bases minus caught stealing. Spits out a ranking. Red Sox have 5 players in the top 20 in that ranking. Total average.
Thomas Boswell was a writer back in the 70s and the 80s for the Washington Post. He covered the Baltimore Orioles and know Tom very well. And that's when he came up with the total average. He always used to pat me on the back. He says, "You're doing well in that category." I said, "What? What is it?"
Just combines a lot of offensive categories, and you get negatives for getting caught stealing. But Red Sox leading the league in total average collectively, and 5 guys in the top 20.
Line drive, and there's a base hit to right field. That is going to score Ortiz. Ichiro gets the ball in, and Karp with an RBI double. Red Sox lead 1-0.
Well, Mike Karp is not an everyday player. He's been one of the most productive pinch hitters in the league, but he gets in that start this afternoon, and he comes through right away. He's a bench player who's hitting over 300. That's a splitter that kind of hung right there for him. And he just rips into the corner. He follows Big Papi into the corner. And for Karp, that's his 16th double of the year, and he hasn't had 200 at-bats yet.
It's what you call trading places. One guy hits a double, okay, I'll follow you up. You come to home and score, and I'll go take your spot at second base. Back-to-back doubles.
Here's Saltalamacchia.
Well, anyway, Michael, those 5 guys in the top 20 in that total average category I referenced. Ortiz is 4th. Actually, Cano's the only Yankee in the top 20 at 6. Nava 12th. Ellsbury 17th. Victorino 18th. And Napoli 19th in total average. Total bases, hit by pitches, base on balls, stolen bases. Combining several categories, it spits out a ranking, and that ranking spits out a lot of Red Sox players too.
Not to put you on the spot, but who's number 1 in the whole league?
Miguel Cabrera. And Mike Trout number 2. Mike Trout is number 2. Chris Davis number 3 from Baltimore, and then Ortiz is 4th, leading the Red Sox this year.
There's a breakdown of the last 11 starts for Kuroda. First 7 of those last 11, about as good as you could be. Last 4, well, those numbers tell the story. 353 batting average against. And is it fatigue setting in? Because it's not just a blip. It's an extended period of ineffectiveness.
Usually the first sign of fatigue is not velocity, as you see Kuroda still 93 miles an hour on the top end on his velocity. It's usually control. You saw him miss with his location, trying to go away to Ortiz. He's always been able to shave that inside corner too. That little spillover, as Kenny likes to call it, to left-handed batters, and he runs that two-seamer into righty so well. He's had such an undervalued fastball, but he's kind of lost a little bit of command on it in recent starts.
Laced down the left field line, but it slices foul.
And when you lose command of your fastball, that's the pitch that sets up everything else, and that's the pitch that most major league hitters want to hit. They want to hit a fastball. They want it right there, and if you're missing with your command and getting it towards the middle of the plate, it's going to get hit.
The game of baseball is not much of a mystery when you break it down to its purest sense. You have to get pitching. And if you had a choice between good pitching and good hitting, I think you'd rather have good pitching. And although the Yankees are still very much in it, 2.5 games back in the wild card, thanks to an awful West Coast swing by Tampa Bay, if their pitching doesn't get straightened out, they don't have a chance.
Yes,
they've got to pitch better.
Absolutely right.
Fly ball right field. Ichiro will make the catch.
I think one thing, though, Michael, that might help them, this is not the time to be playing the Boston Red Sox. There are, even the best teams have good times to play them when they're not playing their best. The Red Sox are functioning on all cylinders right now. And this is not the time as we look at the wild card standings.
It's a great point, Kenny. Just try to get a win today and get them out of town. And the one team that kind of bothers you in this mix is the Indians, because you do not play them head-to-head anymore. Baltimore, you've got 4 big ones coming up. Tampa Bay, you've got head-to-head competition. But Cleveland, you're done with for the year.
And not only that, Cleveland has got a lot of games left with the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox. Teams that now we just saw Chicago. They're not playing one.
White Sox are 0-9 on this road trip through Boston, New York, and now Baltimore. Boy, that was an interesting shot. And you see what the Indians have done, or what they're going to do the remainder of the schedule. Doesn't seem that difficult. Twins, White Sox, Astros. White Sox twice, in fact. And then they play the Royals, and that's important because the Royals are right there, right behind the Yankees. You never see a player up on that top step of the dugout. That's the brain trust over there. And Joe Girardi has school in session there with J.R. Murphy. And you wonder, is that a precursor to playing Murphy? Because the two Yankee catchers have not done the job of late. Both Romine and Stewart have stopped hitting. And J.R. Murphy is highly thought of in this organization. Switch hitter, and he is there on that top step, and Girardi is chirping in his ear.
Well, not only for this year, maybe, but certainly school could be in session going into next year. You know, I think you'll see a good long look at J.R. Murphy in spring training. Good long look.
Got another good one following him up in Gary Sanchez as well. So two really good-looking young catching prospects on the move in the Yankee organization.
And if you're the Yankees, you're kind of caught between the proverbial rock and a hard place. These games mean so much, and you don't need school to be in session on the field. But then you have to decide, is J.R. Murphy a better option than what we're running out there right now? Or will he be overmatched?
It's kind of difficult because the pitchers do not know him as much, and certainly the veteran pitchers like to feel comfortable on the mound. And that usually starts with who's catching them that day.
It's interesting, though, because, you know, in talking to Al Leiter and some of those guys on the Met team that Mike Piazza called, Mike was never supposed to be a great defensive catcher. And Al said it best. He goes, he was a great defensive catcher when he hit a 3-run home run for you.
The old problem with Piazza was just throwing. You know, his arm was kind of hurting him later in his career, and he just really didn't have the arm strength left. But he set up well. He called a pretty decent game, and his framing ability certainly was okay. It was all about the throwing with Piazza.
Runner at second with one out. 3-2 count on Drew. Foul with that. Did the catcher make that much of a difference you did?
It could, very well could, especially when you're struggling. That's when a catcher can really milk you through a game. Stay with you, you know, give you confidence in certain pitches, maybe to use your third best pitch on a certain day when you don't have your curveball or your slider. The catcher leads. Pitcher always has veto power, but it's nice when you have a catcher that leads you in a different direction when you're struggling, and a good catcher could really help you when you're a little lost on the mound.
It's also to have a guy that kind of thinks along with you, because you get the rhythm of the game really moving. It's almost like the same amount of time between each pitch when you're rolling. And the defenders like that as well. They feel the rhythm to the game, or particularly as a former outfielder, you're standing out there looking around, pitcher's not throwing strikes, and your mind starts to drift. You know, you're worried about your next at bat rather than playing your position.
Well, it's interesting to note, and I know he's in town because I saw it on Twitter yesterday. Jorge Posada was never thought of as Johnny Bench behind the plate. Serviceable job, but he has 5 World Series rings. 3-2. Foul back.
Well, Posada had very strong hands, and he could throw. He had a decent arm, so you know it wasn't. You know, you can't compare Posada to, say, like a Mike Piazza, who really had trouble throwing the ball. David Wells loved throwing to Jorge Posada.
So did Clemens.
You know, power guys really loved throwing to Posada. He had strong hands and good framing ability.
Plus, he could drive in 3 runs for you.
Switch hitting catcher with power.
It was the crazy flaky pitchers that Posada had trouble with. Yours truly.
He also had some trouble with Alduque.
Yes. You know, we're not the easiest guys in the world to catch. We're changing arm angles, changing game plans in midstream, trying to invent a pitch out there.
You'd see Jorge and Alduque argue on the mound. The 3-2. He gets him. A long at bat And Kuroda wins the battle with Drew for the second out.
I think Drew helped him out on the last one. That's why he was so upset. He had him in the swing mode. He had fouled off several pitches. Yeah, that was probably ball 4. And you're going to look at it on Yesmo as he goes through it. And here's a look at Chris Stewart.
Here's Middlebrooks. 0-1.
Michael had talked about Middlebrooks coming back from the minor leagues. He's hitting .440 in September. 6 for 14 in this series.
Moving him up, batting 8th today from the 9th hole. Gradually creeping up the order.
Count 2-1 to Middlebrooks. A couple of doubles to open up the inning. Ortiz and Karp. They put the Red Sox up 1-0, but South Alamakia flied out to right, and Stephen Drew with a strikeout. 42 pitches, though, for Kuroda. And that's scary right now because that bullpen is still very thin. No Robertson, no Logan. Joe did say he thought he had Kelly today. Wow. And you obviously have Mo if you have a 9th inning that you need.
Help wanted sign out in front.
Phone might ring up here, Coney.
I'm thinking you could give him an inning.
No.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I tried that about 10 years ago. It didn't work out so well.
Well, we know the mental capabilities are there.
Larry Rothschild will go out and talk with Kuroda. And this is what we saw the Red Sox do against Nova. You know, it's not that they're terribly wild. They're just not helping them out. Anything off the plate, they're taking, and all of a sudden you look up and you have a high pitch game. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years. Join the millions of fans and subscribe today. Watch every out-of-market game live online on your favorite mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Here's Jackie Bradley Jr. Called up again when Ellsbury's foot started barking. Bradley started the season with the Red Sox, had a great spring training, but the league caught up to him. But he's probably their center fielder of the future if Ellsbury does leave as a free agent. (2-0).
Also a very patient hitter. Doesn't swing at a lot of bad pitches, really tries to drive deep counts, utilizes speed as well.
That's one reason why he's batting 9th as the lineup turns over. Speed at the bottom, speed at the top, although not as much with Nava in there today.
3-0 on the number 9 hitter. Now yesterday John Farrell gave Napoli a green light on 3-0 and he hit it out, so you can't just lay it in there right now.
To Bradley's credit, when he went down to Pawtucket, he had a pretty good year in AAA. He hit .275, but also a .374 on base percentage. So he didn't pout. He went down and had a solid year.
See if Kuroda can fight back from a 3-0 count. He's got it to 3-2 now.
walked him to load the bases.
See a lot of these pitches up and flat, and it's really that two-seam fastball that he's just not quite finishing out in front. And when you get a little bit behind that, as you see now, 36 pitches here in the second, your ball just flattens out. That two-seamer just doesn't have that same bite, and you have trouble putting away hitters.
Well, Bradley showed a pretty good eye at the plate. Usually young hitters are very intense. They want to swing the bat, but he drew the walk, and now a hitter at the plate who's not going to swing at bad pitches in Nava.
It's always for pitchers about wrist position and finishing out front, being able to feel the seams rip off your fingertips out in front. And when you're a little behind the ball, it's like a golfer hitting the ball fat. You just don't get the same rotation, and everything flattens out.
Grounded to Kuroda. And he gets out of it, but he throws a lot of pitches while doing it. 1 run, 1 hit, and the bases are left loaded. We go to the bottom of the second. And unfortunately for Derek Jeter, it is a long injury timeline. It started with ankle surgery last October. He plays his first game of the season July 11th, then put back on the DL, activated from the DL, then put back on the DL August 3rd, then activated from the DL August 26th, and now he's day-to-day with left ankle soreness. This could not, or obviously is not, something that Derek Jeter ever envisioned for this season. Had such a great year last year, and this is kind of the lost year. He said it earlier, it's a nightmare.
It's interesting that yesterday it was Joe Girardi who took him out of the lineup. He said he didn't like the way he was running. So, you know, Derek's wasn't going to take himself out. It was Joe that did the deed.
Fouled away.
Cano working on a 6-game hitting streak. had a pretty good homestand, 13 for 39. Last 25 games, longer period, almost a month, hitting 394. And all the other numbers that go with hitting 394.
There's no doubt that Robinson Cano has really carried the Yankees offense all year. He's been the one constant, putting up the perfect type of year if you're his agent, knowing he's a free agent. So these numbers are looking gaudy at this point. "31 doubles to go with those 26 homers.
Line drive, a base hit for Cano.
7-game hitting streak.
Well, we were talking about Jeter earlier, and here's Joe Girardi talking about Jeter's nightmare season.
Probably his worst one ever for him to have to live through this. And you can probably go back to when he started when he was 6 years old. Because he loves to be out there and he loves to compete, and this is his time that he probably loves being out there more than any. And it's been difficult on him.
I bet it is. Here's A-Rod. Jeter can only watch. And if you're Derek, you wonder if you let your mind wander that this is becoming a chronic situation. You know, he wasn't able to work on his legs during the offseason, and then his legs just gave out. Now the ankle is barking again. And he re-broke the ankle in spring training, so you've got to be worried. Broken bat looper into center field. That is going to dunk in for a base hit.
Speaking along those lines, Michael, is A-Rod that gets a broken bat single to put 2 men on with nobody out here for the Yankees. You know, I'm not so worried about the rest of the leg injuries that he's had this year, because that was from a lack of activity during the winter. You know, having to rest that ankle to let the bone heal. Michael's right about the chronic ankle injury itself. I'm not worried about the quads. Or if he's able to work on his legs all winter long, he'll be fine as far as his muscles are concerned. I'm just worried, as Michael is, about the ankle itself, and can that become something that, you know, you play 10 days in a row or you play 2 weeks in a row, all of a sudden it's hurting again. You know, that would be difficult to deal with.
You know, the problem with baseball compared to other sports is there's just no way, even though you hear the term simulated game, that's a misnomer. There's no way to train for baseball properly other than just get out there in a major league game and play. And quick moves. You got to bust it out of the box to beat out a single. You got a quick lateral move to make a play at short. And there's no way to train for that.
And that is caught by Saltalamacchia. So an unproductive at bat for Reynolds.
Reynolds does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. He was trying to do so here and pops it straight up. Saltalamacchia not having to go too far. Makes the catch for the out. There's one down.
That looks to me, I mean, we'll have to ask Joe Girardi after the game. That looks like he was doing that on his own.
I have the same feeling too, because I don't think Joe will be asking Mark Reynolds, who probably hasn't had a sacrifice bunt in a very long time, to do something he's not used to doing.
This early in the game as well. So giving up yourself based on your decision, as I said, we're just speculating. We'll find out afterwards when we ask that question. But curious choice right there.
Swing and a miss.
Decent numbers against Leicester with a couple of homers.
Granderson down on strikes.
Lester went up the ladder on him. Put it up in his eyes, and sometimes as a hitter you see one up there, it looks very inviting.
Why don't we check out the Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index? Highest average against the Red Sox since 2011 belongs to Eduardo Nunez. It's a minimum of 70 at bats. He's at 395. And he's in a big spot right here.
And Jose Molina on that list too. Just goes to show you, you never know. To me, the pitch for Lester, and if you look at his pitch values and rankings across the board, without getting into too many numbers, the most effective pitch for him this year, and especially recently, has been just the fastball. You know, he got a little cutter happy last year. He can really do a lot of things with the baseball in his hand. He can make a move just about any way he wants. But bread and butter number one has really served him well recently, and it's his highest ranked pitch, or his most valuable pitch this year, is really just that four-seam fastball.
And as you said before, it seems like he's throwing harder this year. So consistently around 94, 95. They say that throwing the cutter too much takes something away from your fastball.
Yeah, you don't use it, you lose it. You got to stretch it out and throw it.
That's the danger pitch to Nunez. A good high ball hitter. Somehow, you know, some hitters can get on top of it no matter how hard you throw it. And not quite. But he was on it. Anything up there just above the belt, Nunez usually puts a pretty good swing on it.
Yeah, letter high there.
One-two. Chases a high fastball, 95 miles an hour. And Lester comes back to get the Yankees and ruin the threat. We go to the third. It's 1-0 Boston. Woman there left of the screen in the blue shirt, that's Indra Nooyi, PepsiCo's chairman and CEO, enjoying the game right next to the Yankee dugout. Welcome to the park.
That is the power seat.
That's the power seat
here in Yankee Stadium.
All right, 1-0 as we go to the third inning. It'll be Gomes, Pedroia, and Ortiz. Pitch outside. Lincoln scoreboard 1-0. Now 1-0 doesn't concern you, but 53 pitches with nobody out in the third inning, that concerns you. Pitch is high.
Just a little bit under that two-seam fastball once again from Kuroda. It's still got movement, still got velocity, but just behind it a bit on his release point.
Red Sox have seen a lot of Kuroda this year. This is his 5th start against the Boston Red Sox. He's 1-3. His only win came July 20th at Fenway Park.
Base hit through the left side for Gomes.
Johnny Gomes has one of the shortest strokes going in baseball. Not much of a follow through. Just gets the barrel of the bat to the ball. Just boom, that's it. Now I can start running. I don't think any catcher's in danger of the backswing of Johnny Gomes.
Almost like a Tiger Woods knockdown 2-iron, you know.
Now Pedroia, different swing altogether. You see catchers every once in a while get tagged by Pedroia. And you can see it on that very first swing there, the difference in the two approaches as hitters. Very lengthy swing. Here it is on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer.
Just what you call, you know, just using every muscle in your body. Is total body move towards the ball.
Fly ball center field. Granderson is there to make the play for the first out.
It's a gorgeous day here, plenty of cloud cover, and one of those days where the sun can peek in and out, and a good day to have the Oakleys on top of your hat, just in case, Kenny. You never know if you're going to need the shades today.
You know, one thing that happened during Nunez's at bat, prior to the last pitch in which he struck out, the sun came out very brightly. If I'm hitting, I step out just for a second. Just get the eyes readjusted. And plus, Lester made a very good pitch on him, too. Big Papi wants home plate umpire Andy Fletcher to check with the third base umpire.
That's the Paul O'Neill rule right there. You see, he calls him on the swing, not the pitch. The point to the bat, and that's what Ortiz is saying, and O'Neill makes that point all the time. Well, get some help. I checked my swing. That's the third base guy. Too late. Home plate umpire already called it. I think Paul O'Neill could talk about that all day. That's one of his biggest pet peeves. Ortiz, another monster year, numbers wise.
He too, like the rest of the Red Sox, driving in a lot of runs lately. They've been scoring at a rapid clip. 11 runs batted in his last 9 games. He's got a double and a run scored today.
"13 games, 354 against the Yankees." Count 1-2.
during the course of the season, when Kuroda was really on and really pitching well and he had 2 strikes on you, it was just about a done deal. You weren't going to hit the ball hard. If you did, it's usually the splitter that would get the hitters out.
Foul back.
See Kuroda take a shot inside with that 2-seam running fastball and kind of got a little more of the plate than he wanted, and Ortiz had a pretty good swing at it. That's really the pitch that sets everything up for Kuroda. You know, it's that 2-seam fastball in and out. And when he can nail that inside corner, that makes the splitter that much more effective.
Swing and a miss. Big healthy cut by Ortiz and a big strikeout for Kuroda.
Well, David, this is kind of going back to what we said. When Kuroda got 2 strikes on you, this was the pitch. There it is, kind of a split. Wasn't his best one, though, but it was well located. After the pitch that was in, this one's down and away, and Ortiz can't get to it. There's some confusion there. Is he going to come back inside? Is he going to go away? Keeping the hitters off balance.
When you see his anger there, he's really not unhappy about striking out. He's still unhappy about the check swing.
He thought it put him in a hole right out of the gate.
You're right, Michael. And as Andy Fletcher, the home plate umpire, said, knock it off.
I've always wondered about that, though. I mean, umpires don't like to be shown up, but nobody in the ballpark knows anybody's barking from the dugout. Why is the rabbit ears? I mean, they're the only ones that could hear it.
No, because he kind of showed him up during the at-bat.
But that's over with now.
Yeah.
Now he's yelling from the dugout.
It's not like they forget. The only difference there from years ago, Billy Martin or Earl Weaver had been out there yelling at the umpire, stay off of my players. But you can't argue balls and strikes. It's automatic. You're gone. Those guys didn't care.
Ground ball was short. Nunez will take it himself, and that's going to do it. Here in the third, no runs to hit, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Sox. Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Look cloudy now here at the stadium. Some big puffy clouds overhead. On the Lincoln scoreboard, it's 1-0. How you doing? Red Sox lead the Yanks. And Chris Stewart will lead off against John Lester. Grounded, just foul. That hit him on the way by, so Stewart will take first.
He's taking one for the club. What if this is a cutter? We'll take another look. The sign is low and in. Yeah, it's a cutter. Right off the left. My left foot.
Not a direct hit either. Sort of a short hop. Stewart really no residual effect from the hit batter on the foot.
Ichiro, fly ball to left field. Gomes is there for the first out.
Earlier I mentioned that Lester's beaten the Yankees 10 times in his career, 10-5. He's coming up on 100 victories in his career. If he wins today, he'll be number 99. But he's only 1-1 against the Yankees this year. He started way back on opening day, April the 1st, and he won. But he went 5 innings. Then he lost to the Yankees on May 31st. Again here at Yankee Stadium. So he's made 3 starts against the Yankees this year, all of them here in the Bronx. He's made the most road starts of any pitcher in the major leagues. This is his 19th start on the road. And that's probably why he's got 7 losses on the road this year.
It's kind of the luck of the draw. It's like a roulette table where the ball drops is when you pitch, and you could use a few more starts at home.
Stewart dancing off first.
There's more dancing here.
Big cut. Count 1-2. David, why do you think he found 3 miles an hour late in the season? Is that unusual?
Well, you know, it's not unusual if you start throwing it more. He's got the ability to have that velocity, but over the last couple of years, he really developed that cutter and started throwing that more and more.
Oh, what a play by Pedroia. There's 1, and there's 2. He got a bad hop while he was on his stomach and still made the play to start a 4-6-3 double play. The ball was hit hard by Wells, but somehow Pedroia comes up with this play. 4-6-3. We're going to the 4th. 1-0. Red Sox lead. Time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line quiz, everybody. Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. On this date, 1982, Don Mattingly made his major league debut as a defensive replacement in the outfield. For whom did he come in? I tightened that up grammatically.
Nice.
How'd you fare against Mattingly?
You know, I actually faced Donnie in the minor leagues,
right.
You know, in instructional ball in 1 year. It, faced him a couple times with the Yankees. Not a real big sample size. He was a tough out, though, no doubt. I don't remember any big home runs or any big hits he got off me, but I just remember knowing who was in the batter's box.
Pitch upstairs. Well, when Don Mattingly did come in as that defensive replacement, he was wearing number 46. And then when he became a regular, he was wearing number 23. Which hangs on that wall in left center field, the 1-1. Now, Kenny, you know these things. In our Bigelow T weather report, we said it's a beautiful day for baseball. We didn't see a black cloud over the left field grandstand. Is there rain in the forecast, Kenny?
I hope not. Late afternoon showers, according to our producer, Bill Bowler.
So that'll be what, 6th inning? Benjamin Moore scoreboard 1-0 Boston. The 2-2.
Is Kenny a weather specialist? Or?
He knows, but see, Kenny knows everything about everything.
No, well, not really.
Yes, you do. I look to you. You're my guidance.
You asked me what's the weather going to be in Baltimore while we're there. I told you it's going to be hot.
While we just looked this up, Kenny, how about Mr. Humble between us? Mattingly 1 for 17 against Cone, including 0 for his last 14. So how'd you get him out?
Splitter down and away, fastball up and in. So some backdoor sliders in there.
Line drive into second base.
That's true, yeah. That's what those numbers don't show.
Yeah,
yes.
They don't show you how you got him out.
The atom ball. I owned you, Donnie Baseball.
Grounded to first. Reynolds is there. 1 away.
Now, I can remember seeing Don Mattingly in spring training games when he first came up. And I'm playing the outfit. I'm watching this young guy. Never heard of him before. He's got a nice swing. Hits the ball hard. He played a little first base. I got down to first base somehow in the spring training game. And I said, dude, he was so quiet and humble and didn't say much. His bat spoke volumes, though.
That batting stance, that little crouch, just exploded.
Stephen Drew takes a strike.
Veterans in spring training have a way of noticing the young players that they haven't seen before, particularly the ones on your own team, because they're the ones that are trying to replace you.
Do you think Stephen Drew was thinking about Wally Pipp tonight when he put his head on his pillow last night? After Xander Bogaerts had a bust-out afternoon yesterday.
Hit his first major league home run over the Zoo York side.
And the Red Sox aren't even shy about it. He's the shortstop of the future, so Stephen Drew has a short-term deal, knows that he's not here for the long haul.
And he's had a good year, to his credit. Stephen Drew, kind of an underrated, very good year after having some injury problems early.
Just 20 years old. There's the home run that he hit yesterday. Impressive. You don't see many go that far.
See that little hop out of the batter's box after that swing. He said his leg cramped up on him a little bit after that swing.
I thought he was going Sammy Sosa.
Well, there's the resumes from Aruba, signed by the Red Sox, amateur free agent. Futures game last year, and he's the #1 prospect for the Red Sox, ranked by Baseball America.
The last player I can remember from Aruba was Sidney Ponson, better known as Sir Sidney. He was knighted. It's a 4th strikeout for Kuroda.
Kuroda much better this inning, starting to get all of his pitches down where he wants them. Problem here, his 82nd pitch coming. Good velocity and movement now, 94 miles an hour, and that two-seamer down and in.
Count 1-1. And now it's 1-2 on Middlebrooks.
Now that's the Kuroda stuff of old right there. I mean, the Yankee fans have to be encouraged. Even though his pitch count is elevated, he pitched out of a jam, just 1 run on the board, but his stuff clearly much sharper in these last couple of innings than we've seen previously in his last 4 starts.
The only concerning number there is the 85 pitches. That's too many at this time of the game. Look, cow, too many at this time of the game.
The good pitch right there to Middlebrooks. Push him off. This two-seamer running in, just to let him know, hey, you're not going to reach out over the plate.
Base hit.
Maybe so. That pitch was not located where he wanted. It was kind of up, a slider, and towards the middle of the plate. Not far enough away from Middlebrooks, who we had mentioned been swinging a good bat. See, the previous pitch had been in. That one doesn't make it where he wants it. Can't make the pitch where he wanted to.
He didn't finish the deal. He had it set up and hung the slider.
Here's the kid, Jackie Bradley Jr. That one gets away from Stewart on the swing and miss as Middlebrooks goes into scoring position. That scored a pass ball.
Yeah, Stewart anticipates what's coming. We've just seen him kind of struggle the last couple of games. Maybe getting caught trying to frame pitches, but that ball just clanked. Not anywhere near the dirt. He's expecting the backdoor slider, and it ended up middle and down, but easily catchable.
Oh, 2.
So now with a run in scoring position, he's going to have to do a better job of finishing than he did with Middlebrooks. He doesn't want this ball hit hard at all. Yeah, he wouldn't mind put in play, but not with any authority.
Going hard, 95 miles an hour, 1-2.
Good 0-2 pitch. Running two-seamer off the plate.
Serves it the other way and out of play.
One thing you see Jackie Bradley, at least in the first 2 at-bats here, he kind of falls in line with the rest of the Red Sox. He doesn't swing at too many pitches out of the zone. Now, the splitter is supposed to look like a strike. That's the one you might get him to chase.
Strike 3. Bradley down looking. Right on the inside corner by Kuroda. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We're going to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 Red Sox. On this date in '82, Mattingly made his major league debut as a defensive replacement in the outfield. Who did he come in for?
I think a player who went on to have a very famous son.
Ken Griffey Jr. Oh, senior. I was thinking of Jackie Bradley Jr. And I believe that when Mattingly came up to stay, the Yankees asked Bobby Mercer if he would retire to make room on the roster, and then see the Benjamin Moore scoreboard 1-0. Red Sox over the Yankees, and the Yankees would then have him in the broadcast booth.
It's not a bad offer.
No, not at all.
Worked out pretty well.
Now, did Bobby go right upstairs like the next day?
I think it was something like the next day.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, Girardi did that, remember, in Japan?
Yeah. Now, the reason why I say that, because I think we were the team that was in town when that happened.
Really?
And I remember Bobby walking into the Oriole dugout with a briefcase.
And did you guys welcome him in? He was an opponent all of a sudden.
Well, you know, I looked at him like quizzically because he didn't have a uniform on. I'm thinking, oh, what's he doing? And then I found out he was upstairs. And Bill Bolin has verified that they were playing the Orioles that day.
2-2. And the way Bobby told me the story, George Steinbrenner called him up and said, listen, we're thinking about calling up this kid Mattingly, and I want to know if you would retire to make room for him, and then we'll put you into the broadcast booth. The 3-2. Fly ball. Right center. Catch is made by Nava. But the kicker was that George Steinbrenner told him, I'll call you back in 15 minutes. I need an answer. And Bobby said, I figured how much longer do I have to play, and this could be a good opportunity, and he turned out to be a great broadcaster.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday. I said, what are you doing? Bobby and I had been on an all-star tour in Japan, and I got to know him that way. We'd been playing against each other, and Earl Weaver was the manager of the all-star team, and Bobby said, is he like this all the time? And I said, welcome to my world.
We miss Bobby, one of the great guys.
Man.
The 0-1 to Cano. Line drive caught by Carp. 2 outs.
Just enough off this curveball to get Cano out in front to not be able to hit it hard enough.
Up to get down.
Here's A-Rod, who singled in the second inning. That single was his 2,930th career hit, which ties him with Rogers Hornsby and Jake Beckley for 34th on the all-time list. Up next, and this will be an unusual tie, Barry Bonds, 29-35.
I thought Derek Jeter was a lock to pass Paul Molitor. I think he's within 5 hits too as well. 3 hits away from number 8 on the all-time list. You're gonna have to wait and see with Derek at this point.
Now you think about Rogers Hornsby, he's right-handed hitter like A-Rod, but he hit 424 one year. I think he had 3 years where he hit over 400. Played primarily for the Cardinals. See ya.
He's now in his rearview mirror. And the thing with A-Rod, and it has to be addressed, and people want it to be addressed, and I understand it, but it's going to be in everybody's own mind how they're going to interpret all the home runs he hits, all the hits that he has, how many do people say are legitimate. He's now going to appeal a 211-game suspension. He had previously admitted the 3 years of use in Texas of PED. So, hey, everybody to each his own how you're going to look at what he accomplishes, legitimate or not. Here's Mark Reynolds, who for some strange reason tried to bunt in the second inning and fouled it out to Saltalamacchia, so he's 0 for 1.
Yeah, you think back, we mentioned Barry Bonds up next, and you think back to Bonds wasn't really liked around the league, but he was loved in San Francisco. I mean, he's our Barry Bonds, and he's been doing a lot of good things for their franchise.
That one is drilled to center field. Bradley back, still back, and it's up against the wall. Can A-Rod score? They're waving him home. He's rounding third. No throw. Reynolds ties the score with an RBI double.
Maybe that's why he shouldn't have been bunting. Back in the second inning. Jackie Bradley Jr. is known as a good defensive center fielder. He set sail for the wall when this ball was hit. And it was hit so hard he had no chance to get it. And the Yankees caught a break here. Sometimes you see a ball hit the warning track and then bound over the wall here at Yankee Stadium. Not this one. Sort of climbs the wall. And you see A-Rod at first. He knows the ball is hit well. Now the race is on. Robbie Thompson's going to send him home. And the game is tied.
Little eyewash slide there at the end. Nonetheless, he ran pretty well.
Here's Granderson. And there's a strike. One game. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Since the start of the 2011 season, Curtis leads the majors with 31 home runs off of left-handed pitchers. Fouls out of the way, and that includes right-handed batters, so it's a pretty amazing stat.
Yeah, he's got a couple off Lester.
Fouled away.
Curtis's numbers have been really good since he's gotten back from his second injury, but so far in September, 19 at bats, just 158 batting average.
Grounded to Pedroia. He will get Granderson, and that'll do it. But the Yankees have tied the score. A 2-out single by A-Rod, and then a double by Mark Reynolds over the head of Bradley. Scoring A-Rod. We'll go to the fifth. It's a 1-1 game. By Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. Chris Tillman has become the ace they've long wanted him to be. He's been outstanding. He'll go up against CC Sabathia. Our coverage starts at 6:30 on Yes. Game time right around 7:07, 7:10, right around there from Camden Yards. I'll be there with Kenny.
Yeah, the Orioles picked up Chris Tillman and Adam Jones in the same trade.
Pitch to Nava is a breaking ball strike.
goes to show you, I've heard Michael mention this a lot of times, that trades sometimes can't be measured in the very next year. You know, Tillman's been sent back and forth to the minor leagues several times. Not the same for Adam Jones, but Jones has kind of developed over the last few years too.
I'll tell you what, that trade right away for Seattle was bad. I mean, just according to how bad it was going to be, because Bedard just never did it for them. Count 1-2. Driven out to left field. Soriano is there, and he'll put it away for the first out. And here's the trade that we were talking about. Bedard is the only one the Orioles sent to Seattle, and they got back players that really helped them. George Sherrill was a good reliever for them for a while. You know what Jones has done now. Tillman's their titular ace, I guess you'd say. Not too bad. Those are the kind of deals that get GMs fired. Something that lopsided. And you talk to GMs about trades, and they don't want a real lopsided deal, because if you get somebody and fleece them like that, you probably could never do another trade with them again.
Never happen again.
But that was Andy McPhail, who was the GM of the Orioles at that time.
Yeah, eventually he was gone. Former Red Sox GM Dan Duquette now the GM in Baltimore.
Right here it's 1-1, so the first 3 games of this series all about offense. And today, 2 top-flight pitchers matching up in a duel. And the Yankees' only worry, though, has to be that number under the 1 in New York Yankees. 99 pitches for Kuroda. 1 out here in the 5th.
It's called a shutdown inning. When you hold them scoreless right after your team gives you a run.
You know, the thing about it, that's what the Red Sox do to you. They lead the league in pitches seen. And they also lead the league by far. They've really jumped ahead of the Tigers, who are second in runs scored.
When you look at the Red Sox numbers, you know, you break it down when they face power pitchers or medium finesse and all the way to finesse pitchers. And it's the power pitchers that go right after them that are strike throwers that kind of have the most success. And this is going to be a high slider to Johnny Gomes, who reads fastball up. And it's just spinning away, and it was the speed that fooled him, certainly not the quality of the pitch or the location.
Kuroda's had at least 1 strikeout in every inning.
How much further can Joe Girardi go with him? Try to get a quick out here. Already over 100 pitches. Got 14 outs. It's taken you at least 103 pitches to do it. So a big at bat right here for both sides, for Kuroda and Pedroia. Pedroia can push Kuroda, get on base, and push his pitch count up into the 110, 1-teens. That's a big victory right here in the middle of this game.
The 2-1. Grounded to third. A-Rod fields off balance throw to first. And they get Pedroia for the final out of a 1-2-3 5th inning. At the end of 4.5, we are halfway through. It's the Yankees 1 and the Red Sox 1. A-Rod with the off-balance perfect throw on the nice stretch by Reynolds to end it. competition during the Labor Day SmackDown now through September 9th. By Benjamin Moore for everything that matters. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 Pilot. As Nunez takes a strike from Lester, we start at the bottom of the fifth. Nunez struck out in the second. David, how long do you think Kuroda can go?
You try to get him through one more inning. A 15-pitch inning would put him right up against 120.
Carp is there. One away.
By the way, that last play by A-Rod might have made it possible for him to go one more inning. That was a tough play. Off-balance throw from foul territory, accurately enough that Reynolds could stretch out and get it. Quick release by A-Rod. You think of quick releases, you're starting to think of quarterbacks. A-Rod used to be a quarterback. Look at that release. Excellent play.
Chris Stewart loops one into left field, and a long national nightmare is over. That snaps his 0 for 23, and he has to feel good about that. Guy who works hard, has given the Yankees way many more games than they thought they would have to have from him, and he picks up a hit right here.
Well, he drops it in between three Boston Red Sox defenders. Hitters like to call this putting it in the Bermuda Triangle. Nobody can get it.
Also called using the sporting news for a bat, judging by the sound.
3 for 5 against Lester. Here's Ichiro, who was 0 for 2. Tried to bunt and then flied out to left. The bunt was right back at Lester. That was in the first inning. So Lester's pitch count's in very good shape at 56. Count 1-1. No one up in the Yankee bullpen. Not a pitcher was stirring.
They're hiding.
1-1. That one is looped into left field, and it is not caught by a diving Drew. He really laid out for that one, just could not make the play as it's twisting away from him. And Ichiro gets a base hit.
Yeah, he did a little, got a little leather on it, but couldn't haul it in. And Chris Stewart was kind of caught no man's land on the bases. Oh, good effort. But the ball's going to get far enough away from him that easily Stewart will get down to second base. Now, Stewart, as I said, was caught in between. Didn't know whether the ball's going to be caught on the fly or actually fall in. Little spin move, head to second.
Not exactly the Harlem Shuffle, but nonetheless.
Coney, do you have a dance?
The fact that Ichiro has the threat to bunt made Middlebrooks play in on that. Otherwise, that would have been a play for the third baseman.
Here's Wells. Hit the ball sharply last time up, but turned into a 4-6-3 double play. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to third his first time up. Chases a pitch outside. 0-1. Hammered foul.
First pitch away, second pitch in. If Lester's reading the bat, Vernon was on that one, so see where he tries to put the next one. A little even further in, move him off the plate. Well, it's a cat and mouse game. The good pitchers always seem to stay one step ahead of the hitter.
One and two.
You'll go slow there. There you go, Kenny. You know, it's always about speed. Speed up the bat, slow down the bat. Right on cue, to your point. Lester goes with the slow curve.
And the reason why this is an effective pitch, because it's over the plate. If he throws it out here, Wells is not going to need offer, or if it's in. So he's trying to make him chase a pitch. And the reason why he threw it over the plate is because hitters see the ball coming towards the plate. They think they can get to it, and it drops out of the zone. That was a good waste pitch. They tell people when you get 2 strikes, guard the plate. That's true in a way, but that's really when your plate discipline has to really be at its best. Your knowledge of the strike zone.
That one is looped into left center field. It dumps in for a base hit. Drew makes a nice play, almost gets the force run. Ichiro gets in just ahead of the throw, and the Yankees have the bases loaded with 3 soft singles.
Yeah, I was going to say they haven't really tattooed Lester in this situation, but the Yankees had the bases loaded, 1 out. Another one. How far is Bermuda from here? It's getting closer. Another one in the triangle. Drew, as Michael said, almost made a great play. I think the Yankees were lucky that Ichiro was running from first to second, because he turned on the jet to just beat this throw. Look at him read. Read off the bat. The ball falls in. Now turn it on.
Excellent base running from Ichiro, and the Yankees have the luck factor working in this inning with those 3 consecutive hits.
That'll bring up Soriano. Pop to short. Flied out to right. 1 out. Stewart does not have great speed at third. Fastball inside corner, 0-1.
Quietly, now a 30 home run season and 100 RBIs within reach for Soriano.
Lined foul.
I don't know that there's anybody in the major leagues right now with the kind of hip rotation that Soriano has, Kenny. I know we talked about, you know, you try to say, well, this guy kind of hit like this guy, or what kind of style does Soriano have? Just an amazing, wiry athlete, incredible torque and hip rotation.
First base umpire Rob Drake said he went around.
Soriano didn't agree.
Big strikeout for Lester. Let's see.
And once again, Lester gets it over the plate, out of the strike zone. Close enough that Soriano's going to think about putting it in play.
I think he went around. Yep.
Right at the very end. I like what he did, though. He brought the bat back. You don't lay it out there and leave it out there for the umpire to get a good look at just how far you went.
Now here's Cano. Line to single left and then line to Carp in the 4th, so he's 1 for 2. Big spot in this game, 1-1, bottom of the 5th, bases loaded, 2 outs.
Cano has a hit. He's also lined out. He's hit the ball pretty well both times up.
Count 1-0. White Sox lead Baltimore 2-1, bottom of the 4th inning. Detroit 2, Kansas City 0, top of the 4th inning. Tampa Bay and Seattle will start at 4:10. And the Mets lead the Indians 1-0 in the top of the 6th. Yankee fans now in the tough position of having to root for the Mets today, because you want the Indians to lose.
Couple of things working here in this inning. The Yankees are getting Lester's pitch count up a little bit, making him work harder. Another thing on the Yankees bench, Kuroda's getting a little extra rest here, no matter if the Yankees score or not. Even if the next inning's going to be his last one, he's getting a little breather.
2-1. Line drive, base hit to left field. Stewart scores. Here comes Ichiro. He'll score. Wells goes to third. It's a big 2-run double for Cano, and the Yankees lead 3-1.
Well, that's 3 times today that Robinson Cano has hit the ball pretty well. 2 hits to left field. Keeps his hands inside the ball, fights it off over third base, over the head of Middlebrooks, and it's going to do the job. We saw the graphic where he's hit 7 grand slams. Sometimes a single will do the job. In this case, it's a 2-base hit that's going to score 2 runs.
It's an approach that has served Robinson Cano so well in key situations. Hit the fastball the other way and pull the breaking stuff. Just fought that Lester pitch off that was designed to be down and away, that was left up and in.
Yeah, he's hit over 330 with runners in scoring position this year.
Here's A-Rod. Count 1-0.
And now has 97 runs batted in, closing in on 100.
Another big spot as the Yankees could pad the lead. Second and third, 2 men out. Fastball strike clips the inside corner, 1-1. Trying to stay in on A-Rod, 2-1. Walls at third, Cano is at second. 2 runs in, Yankees lead 3-1, trying to salvage the final game of the 4-game set. That time he goes away with the change and the count 2-2.
One of those times, Kenny, all of a sudden, bright sunshine peeking through these clouds as it starts to clear off here in the Bronx.
The 2-2. 3-2 on deck is Mark Reynolds. Field now bathed in sunlight.
Nothing but cutters and one changeup in this sequence from Lester.
And he walks him. So A-Rod's been on base all 3 times against Lester, and that brings up Reynolds with the bases loaded.
First walk by Lester today. There's pitching coach Juan Nieves. who used to be a bullpen coach for the Chicago White Sox until this year. And he's keeping track. I think he's charting, Tony. Charting the pitches.
Definitely keeping track of pitches, keeping track of sequences.
That's sort of like old school, isn't it?
Very much.
Sure.
Yankees have 8 hits. The Red Sox 4 against Kuroda. 76 pitches now for Lester. And Reynolds fouls it away.
Yankees really taking advantage so far in this inning of 3 very weak singles that put Lester in the hole, and then Cano's big at bat opened it up.
Including today with his big RBI double in the 4th. These are his numbers with the Yankees. 5 doubles, 2 homers, 12 ribbies, a .296 average in 19 games. Nice pickup by the Yankee organization. The 1-1. 1-2.
We'll get him on the check swing as this cutter's up and in. But he gets the call. We'll see. He didn't. He did check the swing. That ball's inside off the plate. And Lester gets a favorable call, as Reynolds did check his swing. And that call is on the pitch.
Grounded foul.
Well, the Yankees have had 1 2-out hit this inning. The one by Cano. Can they get another one?
One-two. Grounded to short. Drew flips to second, and that will do it. But the Yankees, like a prize fighter, they really work the body. Bloop. 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 And then they go for the knockout blow. Double. 2 runs. 3-1 Yankees. We go to the 6th. Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $9.99. If you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. All right, so here's the situation in the Bronx. Yankees lead 3-1. We go to the top of the 6th inning. But we have a pitch count dilemma with Kuroda. He's thrown 105 pitches through 5 innings. His season high is 116. He did that August 6th at Chicago. His career high is just 118. He did it with the Dodgers at Atlanta back in April of 2008. And Ortiz leads it off. Takes a pitch outside. 4, 5, and 6 in the Red Sox order. He looks much more comfortable and fluid than he did earlier.
Without a doubt, his stuff has been good. Probably the best stuff he's had in almost a month.
Skied to left field. Soriano is going to turn and watch it off the wall. Going for 2 is Ortiz. The throw. Not in time. Boy, that ball really traveled.
Not the easiest day to pick up anything in the sky, but this wasn't really in the sky. It was a line drive that just hit off the bottom of the wall and shot over Soriano's head. So clouds or no clouds, I don't think Soriano had a chance to get back there and make that play. That's just a bullet.
Think about it, it probably would have been a single at Fenway Park.
About halfway up the wall.
Here's Carp. Count 1-0. It's got to be a real tough decision for Joe Girardi. He knows his bullpen is a humongous question mark right now. And Sean Kelly is warming. But you also don't want to imperil your starter. You know, you don't want him to throw 130 pitches, because then what good will he be for you in his next start? So it's a real balancing act. Grounded to Cano. Swiftly played there by him as he goes to Reynolds for the first out, and Ortiz moves the third.
Yeah, I know that was an out, but Joe Girardi could see the ball was hit pretty hard by Carp.
Well, talking about the bullpen, here's what we have right now. Kelly is available today. He's been out with a triceps issue. Robertson's out the next 3 or 4 days. His shoulder's barking, kind of tendonitis. And Logan out also the next 3 days, arm inflammation. Not good. Those are 2 of your big guns in the bullpen. Now, Kelly has been politicking to get back in there. And you wonder what kind of stuff is he going to have when he gets back out there. He's been a horse for them. Here's Saltalamacchia with the infield back. There's a strike.
Little chirping still going on. Andy Fletcher's quick off the draw. The home plate umpire today. There's another little barkage in the Boston dugout about that last pitch being low.
It's a long season.
He's definitely from the Joe West school of take no gruff.
You know, sometimes, yeah, it's very true, because sometimes the crew chief will set the tone for how his umpiring crew operates. And Joe's been around, what we said, since the 70s. So you know he's not taking any guff from anybody.
They thought about coming home, but they take me out of first. Ortiz scores. It's a ground ball, RBI by Saltalamacchia. Yankee lead is now 3-2.
Well, Ortiz running pretty well here. First contact, he just goes. Cano takes a chance, or at least takes a thought, and then thinks better of it, takes the easy out. But Ortiz not bad with his Achilles problems, leg problems.
So a double, a ground ball moving in the third, and a ground ball to score him. Here's Drew. Count 1-0. Two-0. Now 2-1.
Well, certainly a little bit of order restored after the first 3 games, really on both sides. Pitching staff's just beaten up. Long games, long innings, a lot of damage.
A lot of pitches thrown.
A little bit more normal now. Pitchers can peek their heads up. Kind of hiding out today. Running for cover. That guy's on the bench. But as Michael said, Napoli could grab a bat at any time later in this game.
Fly ball left field, drifting back, Soriano. And that'll do it. A season-high 117 pitches for Kuroda. He's given the Yankees 6 quality innings. They go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees up 3-2. Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, September 24th for one of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's Mariano Rivera bobblehead night, the 4th in the series presented by AT&T. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Bottom of the 6th, swing and a miss by Granderson. Fly ball. Left field, battling the sun is Gomes, and he makes the play. That is not an easy play with the sun burning through the clouds as it has right now.
That's right. I described Chris Stewart's base running adventure as the Harlem Shuffle. This is closer to the Harlem Shake. New school and old school. Rolling Stones made the Harlem Shuffle. DJ Bauer with the Harlem Shake, and hoping and praying. Thank you.
Well, you look up there long enough, your eyes start to water. It's a helpless feeling. Sort of like waiting on a bus that'll never come.
Count 0-2.
Lester's done a good job with Nunez today, keeping him off balance. Sean Kelly continues to warm up. That would tell you he's coming into the ball game.
You can bet that Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach, is watching those warm-up pitches.
Nunez swings and misses. And Saltalamacchia throws to first, so scoring is strikeout 2-3.
Harkey's going to report back to the bench on how Kelly looks warming up. But looks like so far so good.
So Larry Rothschild between innings, and you can see that his day is done as Joe Joyce says good game. And Austin Romine will now pinch hit for Chris Stewart.
9 very important outs left to get for the Yankee bullpen.
I wonder if there's anything wrong with Chris Stewart, that setting up a pinch hitter with 2 outs and nobody on.
Slow ground ball, broken back ground ball. Drew will get Romine, and that will do it here in the 6th. Yankees go down in order, 1-2-3. We're going to the 7th. We've got a nail biter. It's 3-2 as the Yankees will go to the pen. Game Yankees with 8 hits, the Red Sox with 5. Ortiz has 2 doubles and he scored both runs for Boston. Cano with a 2-run double to give the Yankees the 3-1 lead at the time. Kuroda gave the Yankees 6 innings and he threw a Yankee season high 117 pitches. His career high is 118 pitches in a game. All right, so Sean Kelly comes on. He's been bothered by tricep problems, and we'll see right away how he's throwing. He's been great for the Yankees all year. Pitch outside to Middlebrooks. Well, Joe Girardi has to make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, and it does bring in Sean Kelly.
Michael, you and I were talking about how important it is to see Sean Kelly bounce back here. He had looks to be like a mild bout of arm problems because he's throwing some nasty sliders here to Middlebrooks.
See the Cadillac scoreboard, 3-2 Yankees as Middlebrooks down on strikes.
And the last one was not a slider. It was a good power fastball.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good. 94 miles an hour, right down the chute.
Moments like this, when a guy's coming in and he's been hurt, shows you how much the game means to people, because this man on the mound has had the misfortune of having 2 Tommy John surgeries. So every time he feels a twinge in his arm, has to be in the back of his mind, but he forced his way back. He politicked. I can do it. I can do it. Wanted to throw yesterday. So here he is today. 1-1.
Well, first of all, you don't get to this level without being a competitor. I mean, in competition, you want to get out there and perform, help your team. Particularly this time of year, it's getting late. And he's aware of the fact that the other guys are hurting a bit.
Well, when he's right, that slider goes straight down. And so far, that's the type of movement he's getting.
Now, when you're managing the Yankees, you can't just sit back and go, okay, here's the 7th inning, I'll deal with the 8th later. In his mind, both Girardi and Rothschild have mapped this out. If Kuroda gives us 6, how do we get the other 9 outs? Do we get 5 from Kelly and then 4 from Mo? Can we get 2 innings from Mo? Do we need a 3rd pitcher? Who's that pitcher going to be? Count 3-2.
Do you get 2 from Kelly if he can hold the lead here? And you're chancing, you know, he's coming off injury.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough call. Ground ball and past the diving Reynolds into right field. Before the game, always a thrill. The Westport Little Leaguers were here. They made the U.S. Finals of the Little League, and they lost to Chula Vista, California, but they stood with the Yankees at their respective positions. Now, you never know if you'll see those faces again in a big league uniform. We've seen it before. Todd Frazier was standing next to Derek Jeter. Same situation. Colby Rasmus was standing next to Andy Pettit. So maybe take a screen pic of those faces and see if you'll see them in about 10 years.
Start asking those guys for their autographs. Get it early.
Rasmus was telling Andy Pettit, I'll be hitting against you in about 10 years.
Look up at him, meat, call him meat.
You better keep it down.
You can't get me out.
Like I said, you have to be competitive. I guess it starts back in Little League. That's where it starts to grow.
Little do over the signs. You see Nava going with his finger, rolling him back over. 1-0. Anticipating a fastball. Jackie Bradley with speed.
Yeah, sometimes hitters want to know if the runner's going, because you don't want to hear that little yell out of the dugout or see the movement out of the corner of your eye. You want to concentrate on the pitches. That's Brian Butterfield, the third base coach.
Good hit and run combination here with these two guys.
Remember, Romine behind the plate. He pinch hit for Stewart. Good fastball strike. Now Cesar Cabral is up.
There's your answer, Michael. Mix and match. Although Jackie Bradley in AAA, even with his speed, just 7 stolen bases and caught 7 times.
Throwing the ball well. Count 1-2. Well, from August 16th through the 30th, this was the best bullpen in the major leagues ERA-wise. September, not too good, 8.19. And the bullpen is the reason why the Yankees have lost the 4 games they've lost on this homestand. Although I think Huff deserves the lion's share of the blame for yesterday.
There's plenty of blame to go around, and really on the Boston side, they have to feel fortunate because their pitching staff's been banged around a little bit. Though Lester today really been very good and kind of victimized by some unlucky hitting. On his part, unlucky. On the Yankees hitter's part, lucky. The Red Sox are going to go deep into the playoffs. John Lester, that is going to have to be a key because he's the number one. And he's pitching like a number one as of late.
Fly ball right field. Ichiro will make the play for the second out. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Johnny Gomes making sure that helmet is tight. Slider strike. 0-1.
Get a little dead time. Peek up at the scoreboard. White Sox 4-1 over Baltimore right now in the 6th. Mets and Cleveland 1-1. Tampa Bay starting later on. About a half hour on the West Coast.
That one is ripped into center field. It's a base hit for Gomes. Moving to third will be Bradley. That's the tying run at third base now. And the Red Sox have runners on the corners and 2 outs.
Trying to go away, it ends up and in, and Johnny Gomes, as Kenny noted earlier, just that short, quick snatch stroke. Jackie Bradley easily going to make it to third on this with 2 outs.
And here is Dustin Pedroia. He is 0 for 3. Grounded to second, fly to center, grounded to third. The ground ball to third, a nice play by A-Rod to end the 5th inning. 95 miles an hour for Kelly. 0-1. Well, they've been great in the series with runners in scoring position, both teams, but the Red Sox 1 for 7, the Yankees 2 for 8 today. Coming into this game, the Yankees are hitting over 400 in this series with runners in scoring position. I believe the Red Sox are in the 370s.
Good job by Romine there. Kelly, not the easiest pitcher to catch, especially with a runner on third. Throws a lot of sliders straight down in the dirt. Romine ready for that last one, and he better be ready for another one.
And that one kicks up the third baseline. It allows Gomes to go to second, and Bradley stays put at third.
This is a really good job by Romine. That's right off the front of home plate. You don't know where that ball is going to go with that tight spin of the slider from Kelly. So good job of just keeping this somewhere out in front. Excellent job by Romine.
All those drills with Tony Pena, who stands about 30 feet, maybe 40 feet away, and just fires balls in the dirt at catchers. Has the full gear on. Well, they worked on that the last time I saw it was in Toronto. Pena, of course, a multiple Gold Glove winner, and was noted for not allowing balls to get by him.
Ground ball is short. Nunez with a tough hop. Fires, got him. And Kelly works a scoreless 7th inning. Each pitch meaning so much to this Yankee team. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretcher at the stadium. Yankees lead the Red Sox 3-2, but will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Army Staff Sergeant Larry Provost, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. And United States Marine Corps E-4 Corporal Jeff Rutkowski, who also served in the global war on terrorism. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
We will see you and Jack and Meredith as well. So to vote for the Chevy part of the game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show.
Did Bob say it was his 437th of his career or 437 feet? About both.
No wonder.
Yeah.
Mariano up. Will he pitch 2 innings? He's not getting up for show, that's for sure. Here's Ichiro against Lester. Bottom of the 7th. Yankees up by 1. 0-1. Cadillac scoreboard 3-2. Yankees lead. We get some word on Chris Stewart. He left because of a contusion on the left foot, which happened when he got hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Right back to Lester. Nice play by him. And there's one away.
Say Jeff Quagliata, our stats guru up in Stamford, let us know that Ichiro's last hit made him in sole possession of 56th place on the all-time hits list, passing Tony Perez. And with that last hit he had, now 1 for 4 on the day. Jeff Quacks is good up in Stamford.
Yep. Tony Perez, a Hall of Famer. Nickname was Doggy.
All the talk about Ichiro's 4,000 hits, you know, even without those Japanese professional tallies added in, a remarkable career.
You should check out Tony Perez's RBI totals. I know he played for the Big Red Machine, had a lot of opportunities, but he delivered.
Here's Vernon Wells. And the count 1-0.
Yeah, when you got Pete Rose and Joe Morgan batting ahead of you. Four Hall of Famers on the same team. Maybe more. It was Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Johnny Bench, Tony Perez. Any others? That's enough, isn't it?
Cesar Cedeno.
Not a Hall of Famer. Good player.
Dave Concepcion.
People think that he should be in.
.30. Turn him loose, and he grounds it to third. Backhanded by Middlebrook. Sets, fires, and the stretch by Karp to get Wells. Good play by Middlebrooks.
On the backhand. And this is a play where a third baseman show off all his skills. Going to his right, then up, and then the strong arm. Third baseman's arm just about has to rival the shortstop's arm.
You know, Michael, you're the journalist up here. I don't really worry about facts, getting things right. I don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. It's actually Cesar Geronimo, not Cesar Cedeno.
Who was a good player in his own right.
But I'll clean it up anyway, even though, you know, I'm not a Fordham grad.
You are very much in the facts. Numbers are facts. That one is hammered into left center field. It is a base hit. Cut off in the gap by Gomes. And Soriano gets himself a single. Rounded too far and almost got tagged out. But he does get back in time.
One reason Gomes was able to keep that to a single because he's playing very deep to begin with. So he's able to get to the gap, cut it off, get the ball back in. Soriano knows that's doubles territory, so that's why he took the big turn. And Pedroia heads up. Hey, I might get him on heading back to first. Mike Karp with the tag. But you can see Soriano clearly back safely. That's Rob Drake with the call.
Cano grounds one through for a base hit, his third hit of the afternoon. That time they got victimized by their shift. So first and second, 2 outs.
This is Cano's third hit to the left side of the infield today. So he's blocking it, hitting it the other way, letting the ball travel, then striking quickly with the barrel of the bat. You can see Drew doesn't have a chance. So a single, a double, and another single to the left side. The only time he's made it out, he lined out to first base. He pulled the ball.
Yeah, that approach of hitting the fastball away and staying behind the ball allows him to wait for a curveball to pull it. And that would be the pitch he would try to find the short porch with.
I was going to bring up A-Rod. Big spot in this game. Remember, the Yankees a little short in the bullpen today. They need to get 6 more outs. They'd like more runs to play with. A-Rod 2 for 2 with a walk. Soriano at second. Cano at first. Lester deals. Fastball is high, 1-0.
Lester still in good shape. This will be pitch number 100 on the day. Little mixing and matching out in the Yankee bullpen, getting prepared.
A-Rod skies one in the center. Bradley back now comes in, and he'll make the play for the final out of the 7th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. Yankees go to the 8th inning. A-Rod bloops it out to center for the final out. Yankees lead 3-2. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by the Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. How big is this game for the Yankees? How short are their bullpen? Well, there's the answer. Mariano Rivera is going to be asked to get 2 outs. The last time, or two innings. The last time he had a 2-inning save in the regular season. You ready for this, everybody? July 16, 2006. His last 6-out save in the postseason was Game 2 of the 2009 World Series. This is asking a lot of Mariano Rivera. Let's see if he can do it. Obviously, he did not trust the rookie Cesar Cabral, at least to come in and get David Ortiz, so he's asking Rivera to get 6 outs. Another strike.
Well, I'll be on the record right now as saying I like this move.
Hyundai scoreboard 3-2 Yanks. He did not hold up. Why do you like it, David?
Because that's how important this game is, to stop the bleeding. You don't know if you're going to need Mariano Rivera tomorrow night. Obviously, the residual effect is important. And yes, he did go. You play for today. That's how important this game is. And to ask a rookie like Cabral to come in and face Ortiz is a lot.
You got to figure he would face Ortiz, but then John Farrell has the option to go into some pretty big right-handed hitters, including Napoli, Shane Victorino on his bench to face Cabral to pinch hit for Cart. And maybe he doesn't want to see those guys today. He's seen enough of them.
Another excellent point.
Yeah.
Mariano Rivera's got the rest of his life to rest. This is the farewell tour.
Strike 3, Ortiz down looking, 1 away.
Well, you know, there's the front door, which is in here, and then there's the back door over here. Mariano says exit back door.
No doubt about this one. That's got plenty of plate.
And Ortiz did not say anything. He just headed back to the bench.
Here's Mike Carp. Pitch outside. So when they got together before the game, this is the plan they came up with. They didn't just wing it on the run. Let's get 6 innings out of Kuroda. Kelly will pitch the 7th, and Mo will have to pitch 2 innings. And what that also tells you, if you look at the people that are listed out in the bullpen right now, they don't trust anybody else other than Mo for these 6 outs.
Worry about tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You're asking CC tomorrow night to go deep into the game.
Well, the last time we saw Mo was on the 5th. That was the first game of this series. And with 2 outs, down to their final strike, Napoli got a single. Berry came on, stole second, moved to third on a throwing error, and then Steven drew a broken bat single to tie the score in the 9th, and the Yankees ended up losing in the 10th. 3-2 on Carp. Base hit to right field for Carp.
Carp's had a good day. That's his 3rd hit.
He's had a good day and a good year for the Red Sox.
Doesn't get to play all that often, but when he has, he's hitting over 300. Came in at 306, and he's 3 for 4 today.
Yeah, Mariano would rather have this cutter up around the belt. Stays down and in, that allows Carp just to drop the helmet of the bat on the ball and find the hole. Normally Mo would like to elevate that to lefties a little more.
All right, Quentin Berry is going to pinch run for Carp, so the same situation. Mariano on the mound, Romine behind the plate, Berry at first.
One thing we noticed with Berry, he doesn't waste much time. He takes off on first or second pitch.
The best thing that Mariano Rivera can do here to counter Berry's speed is to hold the ball. Try to freeze the young base runner, much like NFL coaches try to freeze place kickers. Mariano not with an exceptionally good move or exceptionally quick to home plate. Although he does do a little abbreviated slide step there, so he can quicken up his delivery. But with a young, anxious runner, the best thing Mariano could have right now is patience and just hold the ball.
To Saltalamacchia.
A very difficult thing to do, Kenny, when you're on the mound, because your rhythm, you're into timing, and to be able to hold that ball for a 5 count even sometimes can really make a difference. As Mariano gets the high strike call there to run it to 0-2.
Swing and a miss. Saltalamacchia down on strikes, 2 away.
Good finish pitch. Even though it's down, it's way in off the plate. Almost like a back leg slider. As Mariano tweaks that cutter a little more out in front, which makes the spin a little tighter and the movement a little more.
Here's Stephen Drew.
Yeah, this is Berry's job. If he makes the postseason roster, Yankee fans remember Homer Bush back in the day when Homer was called upon by Joe Torre to pinch run. It seemed invariably he would score.
A big lead by Berry.
Had him leaning. Just got back. Berry 22 for 22 lifetime stealing bases. Never been caught. Close right here.
It doesn't tell you how many times he's been picked off. And he came very close to leaning the wrong way.
And a strike to Drew.
You can definitely see him when the pitch is thrown. He's got that little spring in his step. He wants to go. He's on pins and needles over there at first, but so far Mariano's done a pretty good job of holding him. And just by almost picking him off, that could put up a little red flag for him. Might not get the best of jumps.
See, on Thursday, Mo didn't even look over there at first base, so paying a lot of attention to him today.
Probably the quickest delivery to home plate I've ever seen Mariano Rivera make. A true slide step.
One and one.
Ooh, man.
Wow.
Had the corner.
Popped up. A-Rod. Mo has 3 outs to go. So he works a scoreless 8th inning, no runs ahead, 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Yankees. Mason presents the Joe Girardi Show. Then you can follow Chris Stewart and his family to the aquarium on another episode of Yankees on Deck. It's all later after the postgame, only on Yes. So Mariano will take a breather and try to get the final 3 outs in the 9th inning. Quintin Berry takes over in right field. And Nava moves from right to first. John Lester still on the mound. Here's the scoring for the Yankees. An RBI double by Reynolds in the fourth, scoring A-Rod with 2 outs. And then a 2-run double in the 5th inning by Cano. And those are the Yankees' 3 runs. Red Sox got a run in the 2nd inning, a double by Ortiz, a double by Carp. Then with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Daniel Nava grounded out to second. Workman and Morales up in the Red Sox bullpen. And then in the 6th inning, the Red Sox built around a double by Ortiz. Carp grounded to second to move Ortiz to third. Saltalamacchia grounded to second to score Ortiz. And that's where we are right now. Yankees 3-2 over the Red Sox on the Hyundai scoreboard, bottom of the 8th inning. Reynolds, Granderson, and Nunez against Lester. Popped up. Nava runs out of room.
Maybe the best job I've ever seen Mariano Rivera do the last inning of holding a runner. As Barry was left at first base without even an attempt and almost got picked off.
Two. Popped up. Saltalamacchia makes the play. 1 out. There's a breakdown of 106 pitches. Easy innings in the 1st, the 3rd, the 6th. Tough inning in the 5th, and also 20 in the 4th, so he's at 106.
4th and the 5th, coincidentally, the innings where the Yankees scored.
And a strike to Granderson. Granderson is 0 for 3 today. Strikeout, grounded to second. Fly ball to left. Sam Holbrook said he held up. One and two. If you want to look ahead to the 9th inning, who's Mo going to face? 8, 9, and 1 in the Red Sox order. Middlebrooks, Bradley, and Nava. Did he go? Yes, he did. Saltalamacchia gets an angle. Strikeout, put out 2-3.
Boy, good at bat by Lester there. Really worked over Granderson. Excellent pitching, and Lester now in a position to potentially throw an 8-inning complete game, which is kind of a good news, bad news situation. Anytime you have an 8-inning complete game, you're on the losing end when you're pitching on the road. But has thrown the ball very well today.
One and 0.
This is the guy that Lester has worked over, Nunez. Nunez has been swinging a pretty good bat lately, but today not much success against Lester.
Nava gives it a look. It's in the seats.
Lester's done a good job of keeping it on the fringes of the strike zone, just out of the reach of Nunez. He's a very aggressive hitter, as we all know. He likes the ball up. Struck him out the first time on a pitch that was up but off the plate, and Nunez chased it.
One and two.
I love that strategy. You know, it's not always for a pitcher to pitch to a hitter's weaknesses. Sometimes you pitch bad to a hitter's strength. And, you know, if Nunez is a good high ball hitter, then you go a little higher than high. And that's what Lester did last time. Now off of this previous pitch, the changeup, we'll see if he tries to get him to swing. Going with the slider in on Nunez. Certainly Nunez, a guy you can expand the zone on and go way up or way down.
Swing and a miss. Went way down. So Lester works a 1-2-3 eighth inning. Mariano will come out for the second inning of work. Try to get the final 3 outs and avoid a sweep. Yankees lead 3-2. Well, we go to the 9th inning. Kuroda gave the Yankees 6. Sean Kelly gave them the 7th. And then Joe Girardi said, I've got to go with the best. I'm going for Mo to get 6 outs. He has 11 career 6-out saves in the regular season. He has not had one of those since July 16th of 2006 against the White Sox. The last time he's had a 2-inning save was in Game 2 of the 2009 World Series against the Phillies. So he's gotten 1 inning out of the way. Now he'll have to get the final 3 outs to stop this 3-game losing streak.
And as he starts this 9th inning, the White Sox still leading Baltimore 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th.
Pitch outside to Middlebrooks.
Mets and Cleveland tied up 1-1 in the top of the 8th, and Tampa Bay just underway out in Seattle.
.92 miles an hour, throwing hard, 1-1. .43 years old in the final season of his Hall of Fame-bound career. And there's a high fly ball right field. Ichiro back on the track at the wall. See ya! A home run for Middlebrooks. And the Red Sox have tied the game at 3. A blown save from Mariano. That ball just kept going and going, and it was gone.
When that ball came off the bat, I thought it was catchable, and it just kept drifting. Middlebrooks has been hot. That's his 8th hit of this series.
Mike Napoli pinch hitting for Bradley, takes a pitch inside.
All the more reason to try to stay inside the righties today as that one stays out or third. And Middlebrooks, with a little help from the wind, gets a porch job to tie this Wago up.
See Ichiro's approach. He didn't think it was going that far.
7th blown save from Rowe this year, 2nd in this series. I think Mariano is shocked. If I could read his lips, I think he said unbelievable. Fouled away, 3-2. Well, this season, Napoli and Victorino have been the killers against the Yankees, but neither one of them in the starting lineup tonight. Combined 30 runs batted in and 8 home runs. 17 runs scored. The 3-2. And Napoli swings and misses for the first out. Lately, Mo has not been great his last 13 games. 6 of 11 saves. 4.50 ERA. He's given up 4 home runs in 14 innings pitched.
David, I like what you said there. You pitch out over the plate, you're inviting a ball hit the other way. If you keep it in, you make Middlebrooks at least have to pull the ball to get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
Well, nonetheless, with all of that being said, as you see, this is what Kenny's talking about, and he just kind of left it up just enough for Middlebrooks to go out and shoot him to right. But Mariano's going to get out of this inning. You're still at home. Not all is lost.
No.
Get out of this inning. Don't suffer another meltdown here. Yankees still with a chance to have the last say here at home in the Bronx with the last at bat. Potentially.
The 1-1. Now, the thing that's important about getting a win out of this is you don't have Mo tomorrow, and you might not have him on Tuesday. He's at 32 pitches right now. You rolled the dice, as David said. You needed this victory, and he blew the save. So you've got to get a win out of it at least. Because who's closing tomorrow? And you've got to ask CeCe to go 9. Phil Hughes is up for the Yanks. Grounded to first, grabbed there by Reynolds for the second out.
As Michael mentioned, 34 pitches from Rivera here. Even more importantly, trying to get this third out with as few pitches as possible here on Johnny Gomes, who's had another good day, 2 for 4.
Rivera deals. Line drive right at A-Rod. That'll do it. But Will Middlebrooks kind of messed up the plan. He goes the other way. A home run, a blown save. It is now a 3-3 game as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Here on Sunday, and now the game is tied at 3-3, and the Yankees have the bottom of the 9th inning to try to clean this up. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Yankee order. Romine's due up, but they'll send Brett Gardner up the pinch hit. And I know the first thought for Yankee fans is, wow, that's a Yankee Stadium home run, but you got to be careful when you do that because the Yankees have hit a lot of those too since 2009.
No doubt about it. It is, the damage is done at this point, but you're still in a tie game here. You still have a chance to win it. And Mariano did a good job of regrouping after that home run and getting 3 quick outs. And when you think about Boston around the trade deadline, some of the best trades you make are the ones you don't make. And not trading for Michael Young looks pretty good right now, as Will Middlebrooks is just mashing.
Well, they've got Napoli at first now. Berry's gone from right to center, and Nava's gone back to right field from first base.
So we told you Brett Gardner pinch hitting for Austin Romine. Brandon Workman is on the mound, hard throwing right-hander, count 1-0. And Preston Claiborne is now up in case there's a 10th inning. And the 2-0. 2-1. Kenny, the way the shadows are, disadvantage to the hitters?
Yeah, it's starting to get that way. It's almost halfway. There's Franklin Morales warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Maybe John Farrell wants to match up a little later on. He might be warming up there if Cano gets a shot this inning.
Just gives it more of a postseason feel.
Trying to end it with that swing. The count 3-2.
There's what Michael's talking about.
And the shadow of the flags blowing out to right.
3-2. He struck him out. Tipped into the glove of Saltalamacchia. And Gardner down on strikes. Now after the final out, gets the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry bring you all of today's highlights and the latest updates on the playoff picture. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz is in the clubhouse for the team's reaction as the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. Yankees want that post game to happen in the next couple of minutes, should I say. Here's Ichiro, and the sun hiding behind a cloud right now, so that gives Ichiro a break, and the count is 0-1. Now, if the game does go into extra innings, J.R. Murphy is going to have to be the catcher. As Stewart, contusion of the left foot, Romine got pinch hit for. J.R. Murphy is going behind the plate if there's a 10th. The 0-2. Served into left center field, and it dunks in front of Quittenberry for a hit. So Ichiro with his second hit of the afternoon.
Now you're going to find out how well Workman can hold runners.
The big knuckle curve off the plate. Ichiro with the backhand. And it's a winner down the line almost, as they say in tennis. This one looks like if he had a tennis racket, just a backhand.
On the Coors Light freeze can.
Almost guiding that ball the other way.
80% of the runners who attempt the steal when Salta Lamacchia behind the plate have made it this year.
So here's Vernon Wells. 1 for 4. And a strike.
Watching Workman's delivery here.
Early July against the Orioles, Wells had a walk-off hit. He wouldn't mind another. Got some Gatorade for his troubles. Pitch up and away.
There's no doubt. You know, we talked about Workman, the Red Sox pitcher on the mound right now. Kind of projected to be a starter, but all of a sudden he's seeing high leverage situations. The Red Sox have a need in the 8th inning as they move down the stretch and in the postseason, and he's auditioning right now.
Count 1-2.
Went to the off-speed pitch. I'm watching his delivery, and David, he brings his leg straight up, but he puts it straight back down. So it's not as if it's an elongated move. And then you're watching Ichiro. He's watching him, too. I mean, he's a veteran, stolen base type of base runner. There's a slow curveball fouled off.
A little surprised Ichiro hasn't taken a chance yet.
Yeah, the same for me. I think this is a bad time.
And that would have been a good one with the curveball. And as you said, Workman, even though he picks it up and puts it down, it's not particularly quick to home plate. Has not shown a real quick move to first either. So get a bigger lead and take off.
That is a good size lead.
Outside, 2-1.
Very good ratio. Only caught 3 times.
Runner goes. Pitch is low and away. Throw to second. Stolen base for Ichiro. He's in scoring position. And the count 3-2 on Wells.
Give him number 20 on the year. He got a real good jump. You can see Workman. Took him a long time to get rid of the ball. Ichiro got a great jump in there with the stolen base. Moves up a very valuable 90 feet. The ball hits him. I noticed that Drew was backing up, so even if it got away or behind Pedroia, shortstop was there.
Three-two. Fouled away.
The outfielders have moved up a step. If there's a play at the plate, they want to get the ball as quickly as possible.
Pedroia keeping close to Ichiro at second as well.
3-2. Foul back. Ichiro Suzuki on second. That's the winning run. We're at the bottom of the ninth inning, 3-3 game. Yankees 11 hits, the Red Sox 9. Red Sox won the first 3 games of this set. And the 3-2 to Wells. Driven out to right field. Going back Nava. He'll make the play. Tagging is Ichiro. He'll go to third. The throw is not in time. So a fly out by Wells. And Ichiro is 90 feet away.
Nava shows a pretty good arm. But Ichiro obviously going to make it easily in there.
Ichiro knows he can't be thrown out on this particular play. There was a guy here before the game that had a very strong arm. Dave Winfield was here before the game.
All right, here's Soriano. Runner on third, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth inning. He's been the hero so many times since coming over from the Cubs. Another chance right here. On deck is Cano. And that gets past Saltalamacchia. Here comes Ichiro, and the Yankees win.
Well, in a roundabout way, he was the hero.
Not the way they drew it up, but he did pitch the 2 innings, and the Yankees got the win. A home run by Middlebrooks does not sting as much because of this play.
Well, it doesn't matter how you win them. This time of year, you just win them. And the wild pitch. And you know what? The shadows can bother the catcher, too. They might bother the hitter. They can bother the catcher. And Saltalamacchia does not react quickly enough. The ball gets behind him. Here comes Ichiro, and the Yankees are in the win column for the first time in this series.
So they salvage the final game, and on this 10-game homestand, they go 6-4, losing 1 game to the Orioles and 3 here to the Boston Red Sox. But the Yankees certainly still alive, and Mariano Rivera, who wasn't smiling before, has a big grin on his face. Downstairs, Meredith Marakovitz is with Ichiro Suzuki.
Thanks, Michael. Ichiro obviously got yourself into scoring position then, but on Workman, when did you know that you were going to go and steal that base to get yourself to second?
スコアリングポジションに入りましたけど、あそこの盗塁、あのことについて教えてください。いや、盗塁です。カウントとかそこで走りたいと。まあ、盗塁です。No, it's a stolen base right there.
Take me through that last play as you see it get past the catcher.
最後のまあ見てから走ればいいので、別に僕は特別なことしてないです。You know, I just reacted. You just have to make sure it gets past, and I just reacted that way.
How big is this win for you guys?
とても huge.
Ichiro, thank you for your time. Man, a few words today. Michael, back to you.
Well, whatever that word is, it's accurate. It's a huge win for the Yankees. They keep their playoff hopes alive. And it would have been a very disheartening loss in a series of very disheartening losses. And Brett Gardner decided to have the Gatorade stay in the container today as the Yankees, with a wild pitch, end up winning the game. Stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy Player of the Game. A nail biter, but the Yankees come out on top against the Red Sox. They win 4-3. We'll come on back.